Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Betty and Julz. I'm Betty.
And I'm Julz.
And today we are going to be talking about boundaries. It's actually one of my favorite topics.
Yep. Boundaries before feelings.
Yes. Well, we're going to get into it, but one of the things that I just want to point out, for some reason, I feel like boundaries has like a bad rap, like a negative rap, right?
It does.
And for me personally, I'm just going to dive into the topic. For me personally, I feel like the only people that have issues with boundaries are people that need them. The people that really don't take into consideration other people's feelings, other people's times, that kind of stuff. And so boundaries, I think, helps to not only set the precedent of you respect yourself and you love yourself, but these are things that people need.
Yeah, and it's not...
Even if they don't want them.
It's not just in like your romantic relationships either. It's with friends. It's with work. It's with just even strangers driving on the interstate. I mean, you've got to have some boundaries and some order in your life and not just be driven by emotion. I used to be so driven by emotion.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into a pickle.
Yep.
Repeatedly.
Yeah, the other, when you just said that, the other thing that people think of boundaries is they think that you're a control freak if you have boundaries. But I
think it's the opposite.
I
think it's healthy. I mean, you set healthy boundaries. You do it in a way that is it's creating awareness for yourself and not wearing the rose-colored glasses in a relationship. And we have this thing called the board of directors. And it's important to have a board of directors. And that sounds so formal, but it's really like a couple of people or even three people who know you really well and love you. And they cheer you on in your journeys and love and work and friendships and all of that. But they're not wearing rose-colored glasses that can really skew what your because then your rose-colored glasses are really being led by your emotions.
That's true. That's true. And the difference, just a sidebar, the difference between board of directors and quarters, because of course you want to surround yourself by quarters. We have an episode that's called 4 Quarters and 8 Minutes. You can go back and watch that one because that was really early on.
It was.
But the difference between quarters, you still trust these people. These are still your inner circle, people that you trust, people that love you, people that have your back, that kind of thing. But the board of directors are kind of like another layer, right? It's like you have selected, could be a couple people from your quarters, but you have selected 2 or 3 people and you have asked them, you've kind of given them kind of an additional, friendly responsibility, right? That they have to agree to, by the way.
Yeah.
And you are agreeing to having a level of communication and transparency.
And open-mindedness.
Yeah. Now, again, these are people that you trust, that you know if you ask them a question, they're going to tell you the truth, even if it's something you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
So that should still be something that your quarters also do, but the board of directors is another layer because it could be in a dating relationship. It could even be maybe in a marriage where you need maybe an outside perspective. You need somebody to maybe help you navigate through a particular situation that's going on.
Yeah, I mean, by the time I met Jay and I'd gone through therapy for a couple of years and read a lot of books and did a lot of journaling and did a lot of praying and a lot of working out just to, just get myself into a healthy state in all the required lanes. And my board of directors was my mom, my sister, and then a really good friend that I'd had for decades. And they had witnessed... my mom and my sister had seen all of the divorces and all the pain I caused them. And all 3 of my all 4, all 4. I don't count the second one because it only lasted 6 weeks. So I do count it. But anyway, in all 4 of those failed marriages, my mom especially, but my sister also, they were like, please don't do this. Please. And then I had a really good friend from junior high on, and in 3 of my marriages, she said, let's get in the car. Let's drive to the beach. I'll call your mom and tell her it's off, like the night before the wedding. And I put my rose-colored glasses on and pretended like I didn't see anything that was going on, and married them. And on my 4th failed marriage, that same friend, all she did was said, you're doing it again. So we're just going to have to sit here and watch you do this again. So that one was what I call the grand finale. And it was God's way of bringing me to my knees and made me want to get the help that I needed. And that's when I started understanding boundaries.
Okay, so just to clarify, it was not until all of that happened that you then took seriously the board of director concept.
Yep.
And because beforehand, you had people telling you and you didn't listen.
No. And my therapist is the one, he didn't really name it the board of directors. He said, but I need you to have 3 people who know you very well, who have gone through all of this with you, and who have told you in the past that you should not be doing this. And I want you to make a commitment to them that when you start dating again, that if they see red flags and they say you need to break up, that you will break up.
Yep.
And that you will not let it go any further. And I was at a place where I didn't trust myself anymore. I just was like, I saw everything.
Yeah.
But we all think that we are so special and that we can love these people through to a place of them loving you back in the same way. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
They need to be loving you that way before you walk down the aisle.
Well, they need to be loving themselves first.
Right.
Which is what makes them have the ability and capacity to then love you that way.
And it's so funny because Jay, I'll do something and I'm so excited about it. And he's like, I am so happy for you about that. And I'm like, at first I was always like, what do you mean you're happy for me? I'm doing this for us. And he's like, no, this is you. And that is such a clear, what am I trying to say? A clear meter on someone being confident in who they are, and they want you to go out there and be successful for you and to do these things for you.
Yes.
And they're going to be enjoying it too. And yes, they are going to benefit from it, but it's just so cool when you have somebody who's got that confidence. And that's the other thing that Jay told me. He said, I can't make you happy. You've got to do that yourself.
That's an inside job.
Yeah. And he said, and you can't make me happy. He said, you do make me happy.
Well, you add. That's how, when we talked about this before. So when you're a happy person and your person is a happy person, together you can add to the happiness.
Right.
It is not your job to make someone happy that is miserable.
Right.
And it is not your job to tiptoe around life every day.
Do not walk on eggshells.
Exactly.
That is awful.
Yeah. But let me go back and say something to what you just said about Jay telling you, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
So this, I post this every year, you know, and you've seen this. I post it every single year. There's this little graphic and it says, your people, your circle, they should be the ones that are cheering for you the loudest when something is happening. They should be the ones encouraging you. They should be the ones that are there to help you in everything. If you need a shoulder, if you need an ear, if you want to cry together, if you want to celebrate together, they should be there with you. If you have people that are surrounding you, that you consider inner circle people, that you consider your closest friends that know everything you're going through, that you spill your stuff to, and those people are not happy for you, they're not celebrating for you, they're not encouraging you, they're not elevating your life in any way. If they're not doing any of those things, you need a new circle.
You really
need
do.
a new circle, and they need to be either
Gone.
demoted or fired.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah.
One of the two. And another reason why, we are always talking about whether it's quarters or board of directors, another reason why this matters. We talk about relationships all the time. We talk about, marriages, failed marriages, divorce. We talk about your next chapter. We talk about dating. We talk about all that stuff. But the other reason why this is so important is because sometimes people just need help thinking about, like, they just need somebody to bounce ideas off of.
Yeah.
They need, and this could be just like a career move. This could be, maybe you want to go into your boss's office and you want to ask for a promotion and you're not sure how to have that conversation. This is another really great time to have people that are really either at your level or higher. Don't go asking advice from people that have never accomplished anything that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
That is
They
not
don't
the
know.
right person to ask. They don't know.
No.
They don't know. But if you do have people that are inspiring, that you have seen them win in life in various areas,
Yeah.
then
It's not just money.
it's not just money.
No.
It's not. But those are the people that you want to be able to go to and say, hey, I'm having a hard time with this, or hey, what do you think about this idea? Like, I have heard people say before that if you go to a friend and you start telling them stuff and they shoot you down, they shoot down your goals, they shoot down your dreams, they're quickly saying to you, oh yeah, you can't do that. Oh yeah, that's never going to work. Those are the people that I am encouraging you to get rid of.
Well, and what I've learned in my life is that the people who are doing that have their own insecurities.
Yes, and they're
they
putting
don't-
them on you.
They're putting them on you, but they don't want you to maybe get
Yeah.
better than them in whatever judgment they're throwing out there on themselves.
Right.
It really doesn't have anything to do with you. It
Right.
has to do with their insecurities and
their own fear because they're playing small in a way and they
Right.
don't want you.
to get bigger
Right.
in whatever it is. Now, my board of directors, that wasn't the case.
Right.
They weren't telling. My mom, of course, only wanted me to be happy.
Well, but that's what the difference is. That's
Right.
what the difference is
And
when you're
that's-
examining
right.
the people in your circle and in your quarters and your board of directors. There's a difference with her telling me the truth because she loves me and is looking out for me versus her not wanting me to win and trying to pull me down.
Yeah, no.
Those are two different things.
They are wildly two different
And
things.
you need to be able to tell the difference.
And that's called a boundary.
Yeah, that's called a
That's why you
boundary.
need
That's
a
also
boundary.
called discernment.
It is.
For sure.
It is. And you've got to, I wake up every day and we pray over, your name's in my book. We've got like 5 pages of names in our books. And I begin the prayer over each individual in my book with, Dear Lord, help each and every one of these people be healthy, wealthy, and wise. But you're the one who's got to open up your eyes, and you've got to learn from life and stop making mistakes. Some people don't. Some people don't ever look in the mirror. Some people don't ever listen to anything anybody has to say. And that's one of the things that I really struggle with in what we're trying to accomplish, because I have, and it's typically younger people. And it's hard. And I've apologized to Mother in my prayers because she's passed away. But now that I'm seeing younger girls that I love heading into situations that I know it's not going to work out, and I do try to pour some of my experience and wisdom over their heads, and they ignore me, it's cool. They can do it. I'm still going to be here for them. I love them. And they just have to touch that hot stove again, I guess.
Well, here's the difference. It's so funny. She says this all the time. There are certain people, the ones that she's talking about right now, there are certain people that don't qualify for the services.
They don't.
And what that means is if it's not our job to drag people through
No.
it and beg them to believe us.
No.
It's not. It's not our job. If people look at us and they're hearing our stories and they're hearing our advice, and we're like spilling everything on here.
Yeah.
We tell you what we learned, what we did wrong, what we regret, what we want to do differently. We tell you from each other, like what I've learned from her bad experiences. It has helped me to make different decisions, foresight. It has helped me make different decisions and avoid the things that she did wrong because I take it as wisdom. Now, there are some people that we have tried to talk to that don't want to listen.
Asked, they want to talk to
Well,
us.
they'll talk to us, but they won't they won't really accept it. There is something that is blocking them from receiving the wisdom. And that's when Julz says, okay, well, they don't qualify for the services. And that just means, hey, you can watch the podcast, you can call us, you can tell us, whatever it is. And then this is where we say, we will still love you.
Absolutely.
There is still no judgment, but this means that your road might be a little bumpier than necessary.
Could be really, really bumpy.
Because you have decided.
You might fall off a cliff.
You might. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we are super open and honest, as you can tell.
Yeah.
We are open and honest. We tell you the truth. We really come at it from a place of love and experience and understanding, judgment-free zone. Mm-hmm. But there are some people that just want to experience it. There is still free will here. So they still want to experience it the way that they want to because they think that it's the right path for them. And that's okay. That's okay.
But that's what having someone on the outside looking in on a situation that's going on in your life, that's why it's so important to pay attention to what they are saying and what they're seeing. Because I can tell you without hesitating at this point in my life that I saw the red flags too. But I brushed them under the rug, and then they escalate, and I allowed them to escalate because I didn't have any boundaries around anything at all. And until finally it snaps. Mm-hmm. And it's got to be dealt with. And then you've got all this fallout, and you're going to still have the consequences. Mm-hmm. And you're going to carry that around with you for the rest of your life. And it doesn't feel good at all.
Yeah, no.
So
now I have to say I'm lucky. I do have to say that I'm pretty lucky because I am I'm a quick learner, mm-hmm. and I am very coachable, and I know, even though I have made mistakes too, even though there are things that I know, give me a redo and that wouldn't happen again. However, I feel like when you know better is when you're able to do better, right? So this is the part where, especially the boundary part, your boundaries are to protect you. Your boundaries are to help you navigate through something. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean that nothing will ever go wrong. That doesn't mean that you will never be challenged. Actually, I think the opposite, because I've had situations where I go to Julz and I'm telling her, this has happened and I'm not happy about the situation. And at the same time, because I have boundaries in place, you put an end to it. Mm-hmm. You're able to stop it and pull back, and you decide what is the next step from here. Now, if you don't have boundaries in place and you don't have a level of understanding and you don't have somebody that is on your board of directors or a quarter that is helping you to have the awareness, to have that conversation, to say, okay, this is where I am right now. I need to pivot from here.
Right.
If you don't have those people in your life, how much longer and how much deeper will you be going in the wrong direction? Then that's when you're led to your knees and you're in the bottom of the pit. Yep. And that is far worse than having the boundaries, awareness, and understanding to say, nope.
Yep.
I got to stop right now.
Yeah. I got so far down into the pit that I thought I was going to die. And you don't want to get there. And it's hard to climb out of the pit. And it takes a lot of work. And you've got all this trauma bond crap going on inside of you. And it's an addiction. And it's hard to break old habits. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful that Jay Carradine looked past all of my mistakes. I laugh and tell him all the time, I have no idea why you stayed with me. And he's like, well, let's sit down. Do you have about 24 hours? It's going to take me a long time to tell you why I stayed with you. But it's because I'd done the work and because there were boundaries by the time I met him. And Jay had done work on himself. Mm-hmm. And so we became a very equally yoked couple, equivalent in so many of the categories. In all the categories, actually, we have been equally yoked. And you can't recognize that unless you recognize you, period. And so I'm just so thankful that God knew my heart and who I was as that person going through all this stuff and he still loved me anyway.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. That's a good point because when you're going into a relationship, that doesn't mean everything is going to be perfect. And I still think you need a level of grace, and you still need clarity, and you still need great communication. But I really do believe that there is so much healing and there's so much that happens in a relationship that you really can't do solo. You can do all the work that you need to do beforehand and through it still, right? It's continuous. It's never ending, really. You continue to do the work. You continue to be open. You continue to have that person be your person and love you through whatever it is. But I do feel like sometimes, especially right now, when we have such a huge percentage of women that want to remain single because they were burned so bad, believe me, we know. They were burned so bad, and some people are just so shut down to the idea of ever doing it again. But to be honest with you, yes, that's a protection thing. But I think that you're missing out when you close yourself off to love. I'm such a lover.
Me too.
Look, I've been through a lot of shit. But at the same time, I still believe in it. I still believe in having your person. I believe in marriage. I believe in partnership. I believe in
family. Great, strong friendships.
Yes. I believe in community.
Yes.
I believe
we weren't designed.
We weren't designed to be alone. We weren't. And that's on every level. That is friendship, community, coworkers, being a friendly neighbor, having, the connection with a person, with your person. So I just feel like I understand the pain that gets people to want to shut it all off.
Yep.
And those are putting some, I think, harsh boundaries in place that really cuts you off. It's so funny. I went to a Tony Robbins conference, which everybody who knows me knows. I love Tony Robbins. So I went to a Tony Robbins conference recently, and one of the things he says is that the walls that you put up to protect you are actually the walls that imprison you.
They are.
And I thought that was so good because I felt like I know that I have had some walls up to protect me from some of the things that have happened in the past, but then you realize that if you're not willing to show up, and that means vulnerably, that means show up completely, and there is still a risk. There is.
Always a risk.
There is. But if you're not willing, there's that quote that's like, I prefer, or I would have rathered love and lost than to have never loved at all.
Yeah.
It goes back to that.
Yeah. I never felt like I didn't want to find my person, meaning Jay.
Yeah, me neither. I'm with you on that.
I never felt like that. Now, if I couldn't get some answers, which when I finally met Dr. Hemfeld and started getting answers, it became so clear to me. It was so cool. Get to know yourself. And then you'll recognize the person and all the people. I mean, even friends like Bette, and you recognize the people that you want to be with, that you want to pour into, you want them to pour into you. And I know without a doubt, I mean, I've got Jay at home, but if she calls me, she's in my list. I have my phone turned off at night. But if she calls me at 2:00 in the morning, my phone's going to ring and I'm going to answer it and I'm going to talk to her, or me and Jay are going to get in the car and we're going to go get her.
Yeah, she's the person I would call if I was ever arrested.
I go get her.
We've had this conversation before.
And I would just say, we'll talk about this later.
Which will never happen.
No, it won't.
But
it won't.
I'm just saying, she's the person.
So those are the people you want to surround yourself with. And you do have to put boundaries around even those relationships.
Yep. Yeah, because there are things that, like, because I love her, because I respect her, because I love Jay, because I respect him, there are things that, I have a very high level of respect and consideration and thoughtfulness. You even if you have people in your life that you feel like you have this level of depth in a relationship, that doesn't mean that whatever can happen.
Right, you can't just be running
Yeah,
amok.
no, I feel like there's still boundaries. There's still respect. I'm still looking out for you. We are still cheering for each other and rooting each other on. There is still all this stuff, and it's because you love that person so much that you want the best for them.
You do.
If you have people in your life that you don't feel that way about, I would examine that relationship.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't want the best for them and you know that they don't want the best for you,
Yeah.
that's not.
I've had to clean house.
Yes, and I think it's important to do that actually.
It is.
At least a couple times in your life, maybe even I don't know how often. I don't have a time frame, but I have had, and it was actually really sad and really disappointing, where I had to reevaluate a pretty large group of relationships.
Oh, yeah, me too.
During a time that I didn't expect, and that was really painful because when they say when it rains it pours.
Yeah.
Usually it's happening when you're already going through something that's already hard in your life. It's some significant emotional event that you're going through. And then you realize that people that you thought were going to be by your side aren't.
They use you. Betty and I have got really loud, happy, fun personalities, and people are attracted to that. And I tend to just love everybody immediately. But now, fast forward to the boundary section in my life and the healing part, I know who I've got to hold at arm's length, who I can let get closer and closer and closer. And let me tell you, I can count the ones that get to be really close to me on one hand.
Yep, absolutely true. And the other thing is when you recognize exactly what she just said, when you recognize there is an intuitive, gut feel and discernment again.
You know it.
You know it.
Don't ignore it.
And definitely don't ignore it, but and I have felt this way, and we have had the conversation where we meet somebody new and I'm like, yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them. There's something about it. I don't like it. And I'll say it to her and she's like, really? And then something happens and she's like, oh yeah, now I see it.
Oh, yeah.
So there are times where it's been opposite. She noticed it a lot sooner than me, which I'm not going to say the name, but there is somebody that she is not a fan of at all. And it took me a little longer to get to that. And then I was like, I'm with you now.
No.
I'm with you now.
I don't know. I'd rather be at home watching reruns.
Yeah. Protect your energy, protect your time, protect your peace. And you have to protect the other people around you because you don't want all that negative juju coming into your space. Because I'll tell you, there are some people that are the most happy when they're seeing you down.
Yep.
And so they would love nothing more than to drive a wedge into your relationship and create some havoc.
Yep. And let me tell you, when she's dating someone, first of all, she'll tell me something and I ask for permission to share it with Jay. Sometimes we put it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Because she wants a male perspective. And there have been some times when Jay and I have said, you got to walk away from this. This one's, you got to walk away from it. But I really want to hear all the details because I want her to find love. She's got a lot of love to give, and whoever is smart enough to grab a hold of that and respect it and reciprocate is a lucky man. Let me tell you. And
yes.
So are the friends that get to be friends with her. I just gave her a card today, as a matter of fact, and I wrote in it that she represents life, love, and joy in my life, and she does. And
I feel the same about her.
It's an honor to get to be friends with Bette Rivera. I almost said something else, but bleh, bleh. So anyway, it's such a gift.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Aw, that's so sweet. If you know us, if you've ever hung out with us, you know that it's always a love fest over here. It is. It just is.
And what's cool is that my other close friends and sister, they love Bette too.
They do.
So it makes it so easy. Yep. She has become a part of my family and I'm a part of hers.
Absolutely. And my sister loves her too.
Yeah, and that's what you want. And you want to hook your wagon onto those people and recognize the ones. And a good clue is typically when you're with someone, all they do is talk about themselves and they never ask you how you're doing. That's exhausting. It's really exhausting. So unless you're getting a really good glass of wine and having to listen to that for an evening, go get a good glass of wine at home and watch Friends.
Yep. It's funny, based on you were just saying these, super nice complimentary things about me, and I have said these super nice complimentary things about her, but I'll tell you something that we both know and that we both have recognized is that individually and apart, we both know we're awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. The reason why I say that that's important, because if you don't value yourself
Yep.
and you don't value your time and you don't love yourself, like I'm okay being like alone. I'm
am
okay.
too.
I'm okay taking myself to dinner. I'm okay going to the movies by myself. I'm okay making my own plans. I'm okay doing all those things.
Yep.
And that's when you know that you're in a good, healthy place, because that's where codependency and all this neediness, if you don't feel like you have something to offer, if you don't feel like you're of value, if you don't love yourself, that's when you tend to attach yourself to unhealthy
You do.
people.
Because you just want
Because it's lonely.
You just
'cause
want a
you're
warm
lonely.
body
Right.
there. And that can be somebody who you're not even that great of friends with, and them coming over and occupying your space
Yep.
with surface stuff that is irrelevant
Right.
in
Ugh.
this world. And it's okay, but just recognize it and don't get enmeshed. And enmeshment is not good. You
Yeah.
want to not get enmeshed with anyone.
And I will tell you that I won't do it. So
No.
so there are people that invite me to coffee and to lunch and whatever, and before I accept, or before we even there are people that want to hang out with us joint,
Yeah.
right? And then we have separate friends, of course. But for me, before I accept any invitation, I have to think about it for a second.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because I have a very full life, and there are a lot of things that, I mean, sometimes I just want to sit at home and watch a movie by myself, and I don't want to go out with anybody.
I know.
But I think it's important to evaluate who is asking to spend time with you and what can come from that. Because if there's deep conversation, if there's a really great exchange, if there's like this love and positivity, I welcome that.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm going to be sitting across the table from somebody and listening to them whine and play victim
They're
and sob
sucking
story
your
and
creamy
all this
goodness out of you.
No, thank
No,
you. I'd rather be
no.
home alone.
It's so interesting because
Boundaries.
Jay travels some, and when he's going out of town, I don't tell anybody he's going out of town because I want to just be in my cozy little cottage and just have time. To me, she always knows when he's out of
Yeah.
town, and I'll always hang out with her. But I do have a boundary. I don't really like to go out at night.
And I know that about her.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to meet somebody for, happy hour or whatever, my happy hour is usually like at 3 because I want to be home by 5 or 6 because I just like to be at home. And that's a boundary. I had to set a boundary yesterday. We're in the middle of Christmas season. I don't know when this episode's going to come out. But for the last few years, we've always cooked a really big prime rib dinner. And we went to order our prime rib, and it was going to be $500. I'm not doing it. I hope my kids aren't disappointed. I got a brisket instead, and I found this incredible recipe. And
I wouldn't have done
my
it either.
codependency is kind of kicking in because
That's the people pleasing.
It's the people pleasing. I love to make people feel happy at a very high level. And my love language is cooking really good food. And, Jay had to coach me yesterday because I was kind of sad about walking away from the whole prime rib situation. But I don't want to spend, he said, they would like it if you made cheeseburgers and French fries.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
I would be totally fine with it.
But anyway, I'm keeping the menu the same, except we got a brisket for $90 instead of a prime rib for $500.
And that, see, what's crazy is
that's
that
a boundary.
she's going to have like 20 people at her house, and that's just one of her spreads are ginormous. So for it to be that when you didn't even expect it to be
We
that.
would have spent over $1,000 or more for just that one meal at home. If I'm going to spend that, I'm going to go out and be served.
and not have to, right?
And I don't have to clean. I have to cook this brisket for 16 hours. So
Yeah.
that's my love language. And it's going to be good.
Yep.
It's good.
It is gonna be
Anyway,
good.
that was a boundary. And I'm not even telling them that.
Well, they're going to know now.
This will be on after.
It might not.
Really?
Well, I mean, it might air next week. If it airs next week,
Well, if it airs next week, they're going to know that we're not having prime rib and we're having brisket. But I'm going to go
They'll be
ahead.
fine.
I'm going to go ahead and make the au jus, and I'm going to make the creamy horseradish sauce, and it's going to be delicious.
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. But again,
Boundaries.
and this is your decision to make. You're hosting, you're paying, so you get to decide what you're doing. what you're offering.
Well, I'm cooking so many meals. I'm
are.
doing Christmas Eve. We do a big spread of Eggs Benedict and mimosas on Christmas morning. And then we eat all week. Gosh, our timer's already going off.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to New Year's, I cook another New Year's Eve dinner. And then we have to have black-eyed pea soup so we have good luck for the new year.
This is what she does. This is why the entire month of December is so busy for her. And then last weekend, we just had kind of a holiday kind of Friendsgiving, I guess. I don't know what it's called. But
and it's huge. It's my sister's party. And it's the most fun party of the whole year.
And it is so awesome. And so they've been doing it for 40 years.
Started in 1984.
Yeah. So this year was this my fourth or fifth?
Maybe fifth.
Okay. So I'm the newbie in the group. Everybody else has been going since the 80s.
Yeah.
And I think that's so awesome. It's so cool how it is. Like, you start building all these relationships. Now, she's known these people forever, but, they're newer to me. But you start building all these relationships, and every year you see them, and you catch up on all the stories, and how's the family, and what's going on, and you're sharing all this yummy food, and then we do this awesome white elephant gift exchange thing.
Not even white elephant. It's a secret Santa. You draw the numbers.
That's right.
And
That's
you
right.
can
Wait,
steal.
what's the difference? Secret Santa?
Well, white elephant is you bring a gag gift.
Oh, yeah. It's not a gag gift.
No,
It's
these are
actually,
nice.
Yeah, this
nice
is a really good.
presents.
I always bring something that I would want to steal for me.
Yeah, me too.
That I want
Sometimes
myself.
I take my own gift home. I'll steal my own gift. This year I didn't.
Yeah. Well, this year, it was Alex, her daughter-in-law, got my gift, and I ended up getting. But I did pick my own gift. I picked my own gift, and then she stole it from me because she wanted it.
She was like, I don't know if I can steal it from Betty. And
I
I'm
was
like,
happy
you
for her
are
to have it.
stealing
Yeah,
from
I
Betty.
was
That is
happy
the
for her to have
way
it.
this rolls.
Yeah, but I got something really good.
What'd you get? Oh, yeah,
I got
you
that
did.
thing.
You got really.
Yeah. It's
and
like this 2-tier, really cool wooden kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it, but it's cool. It's
Yeah.
like you can display stuff on it. You can put food on it. You can put pictures on it. I mean, it's a decor thing.
Yeah, it's really cute. And I got a bottle of champagne, which I need for my holiday season. I don't need any decor or...
She doesn't.
I don't need any more Christmas. My house looks like an elephant threw up. I mean, not an elephant, an elf threw up in it with all my... And Jay walks around and he's like, I don't think it looks like an elf threw up in the house.
It doesn't.
He said,
It doesn't.
I love it. I love vintage and
It's really beautiful. It's really
Thank
beautiful.
you.
And it doesn't look like an elf threw up in there.
I always say elephant. I don't know why I say elephant, but anyway, I'm not sure we talked about boundaries. I think we did.
We did talk about boundaries.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, but our timer went off.
Yep.
And we've learned recently that we really like the episodes that are about 35 to 40 minutes and not much longer. So we're going to work hard. We're going to put a boundary around
We're going to put a boundary. And you know what's funny? When we started this whole thing, we originally said 25 to 30 minutes. If you remember the early episodes, we said 25 to 30 minutes. And then we would just go on rants that
I
were
don't
like...
think any of them have ever been 20 or 25 minutes.
I think only the first one. And then we started leaning more towards 45 to 47 or 48 minutes. And then here recently, we just did one that was like 36, 37 minutes.
It was perfect.
And we're like, we like that one.
It was perfect.
So we're going to... This is why. Yeah. So we're setting the timer for 35 minutes, and hopefully,
we'll
keep
the boundary.
We're setting. Let's see if we stick to it.
So that's the importance. Wrapping this up, it's not just boundaries in relationships. It's spending
area.
money. Mm-hmm. It's your time. It's us taking your time to listen to this, and we want to respect that and put some boundaries around it.
Yep. And instead of watching one episode that's close to an hour, you get to watch 2 episodes that are, 30, 35 minutes each, because all the different topics, sometimes they go to, everything really ends up going together. But sometimes one is a continuation where the conversation is a continuation of another. But sometimes, like today, we're talking about boundaries. Before we were talking about the dating list. We were talking about all these different things, motherhood or whatever. All these different things I feel like are supposed to be inspiring, are supposed to impact you in a positive way, where our experiences brings something new for you to learn, for you to be able to make a choice that changes your life in a good way, in a different direction, or just to help you.
And just because you make a mistake doesn't mean
you're not doomed,
that you don't get another chance. That's just not the truth. And you can grow from that and be kind and give yourself some grace and then change it. That's all it takes is just a little bit of tweaking on your part for you to have everything that you want.
Yep. Grace for yourself is important. Grace for others is important. That's the other thing that I think is really
arm's
important.
length is important.
Yes, for people that you feel like if your gut is telling you something is off with that person, I don't like their energy. I usually call it juju.
Yeah.
I don't like their juju. Something doesn't feel good about it. I am like that. And I'm like, I will not spend my time. Now, I can still be pleasant.
Absolutely.
If we're in a group setting, if we're maybe at an event or a meeting or something happens and we're forced to be in the same space, that's okay. I can be nice. I can have a conversation. You know, that's where small talk comes in.
Right.
I'm okay doing all that, but I'm not going to allow that person to then come into my space and, you know, there's just a thing about it. There's a thing that you need to protect your peace. You need to protect your energy. You need to protect your time.
Yep.
So that's important.
And what you invest in it will eventually be what leads the relationship to either be deeper or a surface level thing. I mean, if I have a situation come up with someone, I will, whether I was right, wrong, whatever, I will typically be the one that extends the olive branch.
She does.
Because I don't like we're not promised tomorrow, none of us. And I don't want to end up in heaven and having to explain to God why I've got this stuff inside of me towards someone. That's a boundary that I put on myself.
Yes.
And if we're in the real estate industry, and so we run into people, and I want to be able to walk up and hug these people and love on them without, I don't need to go spend the night with them and, or have a weekend girls trip or any of that kind of stuff with them. But I do want to be able to love on them when I see them and not have any awkward, I don't like it.
Yep.
I don't like it. So I don't allow that in my life. That's one of my boundaries.
I agree. I agree.
And it's for me.
Yeah, and I agree because I have adopted that boundary for myself too, where for me, I don't do bitterness, I don't do resentment, I don't do grudges, I don't do any of that. What I do is I have in place for myself when I feel that a boundary is necessary there, this is where I will pull back my time and protect that because I'm not going to keep myself around people that, as Julz would say, that I feel like are sucking my creamy goodness out of me. So protect yourself.
I reserve that for her and my family and then my quarters.
Well, and in that case,
circle.
That's where you have relationships that are reciprocated, where where I feel like they're life-giving and there's this collaboration and exchange where I never feel depleted when I'm with her or after she leaves. No. And she doesn't feel depleted when I'm with her or when. So that's the thing. That's what's
we're
so
always
important.
sad when we have to leave.
I know.
Like, oh my God, we're not going to see each other for another week now.
I know. And that's so funny because we talk all the time. Every day.
Yeah.
We talk all the time.
Every single day.
So if you have somebody
for hours.
If you have somebody in your life that you feel that way about, that's one of your people. That's one of your quarters. That's one of your board of directors. If you have people in your life that when you leave, you're like, I'm exhausted and I'm okay never seeing them again, that's a person to examine.
You got to listen to it.
Move them on out. You can still love them from afar.
Yep.
Now, there are some people that I've had to cut out altogether. Yep. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be mean or rude to them. That just means that I really, really, I'm not going to spend any time with them.
I know I've had situations, and I know we got to wrap it up, but like you give and give and give and give and give to someone that you think is a really good friend of yours, and then when you're in an emergency situation, which happened to me, and I got told, sorry, I'm not available to help you for like 4 months. Well, this was a critical situation. And
I remember that.
She knows who I'm talking about, and
it wasn't me. I remember that person.
That person immediately
out.
Put here. I still hug her when I see her. I just don't. I know. She let me know what kind of friendship we had, and I thought we had something else, but it wasn't the truth. And so you've got to look at the truth, and then there's a boundary.
Yep.
So,
and it is as disappointing as it is. You do learn the lesson that you have to set a boundary, because allowing that to continue now I feel like has people pleasing and codependency in it if you
written all
allow
over it.
leeches to stay attached to you.
That's right. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Okay,
set
well,
your
anyway,
boundaries. Set your boundaries.
Yep, set your boundaries. And as we always say, thank you for spending a part of your day with us. Our subscriber count, if you are one of our subscribers, thank you so much for doing that. And if you're not, please go ahead and click that button so that you can be one.
Yeah.
And while you're here, we have, I think we're up to, I don't know what number this is, but probably 45-ish episodes that we are around right now.
Yeah.
So we have lots of binge-worthy content, so please stay and watch several more. Share it with your friends. And if you have any comments, questions, feedback, or any topics that you want us to cover, please put that in the comment section below, or you can send us an email, and that is hello@bettyandjulz.com, BETTE.
And I'm JULZ.
And that is all for today. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.